Are you thinking of owning your dream homes? EJ Investment is here for you. Secure our quality bungalows with 2, 3, or 4 bedrooms, or our story buildings, 3 or 4 to 5 bedrooms at very affordable prices with flexible payment plans at our Sanyang Seaview Estate, where you can enjoy the cool breeze with modern infrastructure such as tar roads, covered drainage system, modern electrification with street lights, gated entrance with security posts, and social amenities such as gas station, shopping mall, medical clinic, park, schools, children daycare, and a lot more. Our dedicated team of professionals will keep the estate clean at all times, provide security and patrol team within the estate premises, install latest technologies such as CCTV, Wi-Fi, home network installation, solar panel, and power backup system. Also, check out for our additional home facilities and interior design service such as premium tiling, wall plaster, home landscape, fingerprint home lock, and a lot more. Visit our office at Senegambia Kololi Highway and get a free site visit tour, or contact us on 4464838. WhatsApp us on 3259220. Or you can visit our Facebook page or Instagram on EJ Investments. EJ Investments, we are first in properties.
All right.
Honey, did you remind him that the last time he sent the money, it was not enough to buy all the provisions?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell him.
Are you guys talking about money transfer to buy provisions?
Yes.
But don't you know about Baloo?
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 What is Baloo?
Baloo is a service that your son can use to send provisions directly to you guys from the shop. And you don't have to worry about the exchange rate.
Tell me how Baloo works.
It's very simple.
Just log on to baluo.com and shop, or download the app on your phone. You can shop on the website or using the app to buy online basic products for your family and friends. With Baloo, you decide what your money is spent on. Your money, your choice. Buy online products for your family and friends in the Gambia, Senegal, Nigeria, or Mali. Baloo, better than sending money.
Westminster Foundation for Democracy has on Friday organized an advocacy seminar on political inclusion for members of the National Assembly at the Nana Conference Center in Kanifing. The seminar seeks to contribute to highlighting and reinforcing the issues of inclusion, participation, and representation of women, youth, and persons with disabilities in the country, which has been an ongoing conversation over the years. Political inclusion is one of the core objectives of Westminster Foundation Democracy, aimed at promoting accountable democracy and good governance. This event is meant to bring lawmakers around the issue with the wider objective of enhancing the political space to strengthen democracy and good governance. Chairperson for National Youth Council Dembo Kambi in his statement says 68% of the Gambian population are youth, and in order for the Gambia to advance as a nation, young people should be included in decision makings in all sectors.
Let me first start with a quotation made by the then Secretary General of the United Nations, Mr. Kofi Annan. No one is born a good citizen. No nation is born a democracy. Rather, both are processes that continue to evolve over lifetime. Young people must be included from birth. A society that cuts itself off from its youth severs its lifeline. It is condemned to bleed to death. Unquote. This was a statement that Kofi Annan said about the importance of young people in any form of decision, in any sector of our development, because young people understand and know issues better than anybody. Issues that affect us entirely affect us, and we know the better ways to solve those problems. So for that being the case, I think today's event is indeed a very important one that talks about inclusion involvement and participation of women, youth, and persons with disability in all sectors of our decision-making and in all sectors of our policy-making in this country. Young people, we have a slogan that we always say, anything for us without us is not for us. Any decision or any policy you make on our behalf and we are not part of the planning process, the designing process, and the implementation process of that policy, it is not for the young people. And we stood by that. In order for us to advance as a nation, we must ensure that every category or every sector of our society is involved in decisions that we made as a country. Gone are the days when elders will sit and think on our behalf, plan on our behalf, implement on our behalf. Today, as young people, we are blessed. We have the knowledge. We have the capacities to interact, share, and give our opinions on issues that affect us. So therefore, it is important, be it the government, either the executive, the National Assembly, that is the legislature, and the judiciary, the involvement of young people is indeed very paramount for the development of any nation. Our decision now is we must move from consultation to involvement and participation. Consultations are mere formalities, but involvement is integral. Oftentimes, they will say, okay, we're going to consult the young people. But oftentimes, when we are consulted, when we give our views are not respected. But we want to be part of making those decisions. We want to be at the table, not on the table to be discussed. But let us be at the table and we discuss together. That's what can pave a way for the development of this country. Today, we will all attest to the fact that almost to 68% of our population are young people. If we should exempt them from decisions, especially key decisions in this country, what future are we building for this country? So that is why it is important that all the sectors, be it persons with disability, be it our women, when there are conflicts, when there are issues around the country, women, youth, and persons with disability are the first casualties and the last casualties in any form of conflicts. So therefore, their participation and involvement in decision-making processes speaks volume of the way that country determines her future. So it is important, even at the level of the National Assembly. In 2008, the young people converged at their normal NACOT in Farafenye, and we part of our resolutions called on the then government of the Republic of the Gambia to give them voices at the National Assembly. When the issue met the government, they accepted. But they said they are not going to consult us, they are going to bring young people, but these are going to be young people from their party, or people who support their agendas. 2 young people were nominated to the National Assembly. In 2016, we went out, all out, to campaign and fight for the change that we are all enjoying today. We thought the government that we have will be all inclusive and young people will not be left behind. But it was so disappointing to see that at the nomination of representatives to the National Assembly, young people were not consulted, and we don't even have young people that are representing the young people of the Gambia in the National Assembly. These are some of the issues that when we were looking for the change, we thought would be in the best interest of every single citizen in this country. But we are not only going to rely on government. We are calling on all the political parties in this country too to give a quota to young people so that they will be able to participate in partisan politics. It is often an adage in this country, or a culture in this country, they said, where elders meet, the young people don't have a say. But that's a wrong perspective. And that's a wrong culture. That culture must be revived. You know, when we talk about cultures, when we talk about traditions, these are things that are very good. They bind the society together. But I think it is high time for us to revisit some of our cultural and traditional practices, impede those that are no longer fit in our society, and hold on to those that are still viable and vibrant in running a peaceful coexistence in this country. The belief that when elders meet, young people don't have a say is backward and unproductive. So we must all design a format of participation. There might be not written or specific methodologies about involvement, about participation. But as a country, we must design in every aspect of our country, be it at the legislative, be it at the cabinet, be it anywhere, we must always cater for inclusion, participation of young people at all these categories, at all these stages of our processes. Because that will be the time when the policies and programs will be all inclusive and will represent the views of the majority of the Gambian people.
Chairperson for Persons with Disabilities, Mohamed Kurbali, says disability is not inability. He says persons with disability have a fundamental right to be represented in political affairs.
Gambia Federation of the Disabled, as per our constitution and per our objectives, always advocates the rights for the persons with disabilities, to ensure that the fundamental freedoms, the inherent and inalienable rights of the persons with disabilities are always respected, protected, and promoted. And of course, as part of our objective is to ensure that we empower persons with disabilities so that we can live the life we want, and of course to showcase our talents and prove beyond doubt that this ability is not the characteristics that defines who the persons with disabilities are, and that this ability is not the characteristics that defines the future of persons with disabilities. And we always ensure that we also organize workshops, advocacy sessions, awareness raisings, just again to ensure that the government, non-governmental organizations, parastatals, and individuals, when we come to policies, programming, and of course inclusion or participation, persons with disabilities will be fully inclusive. Because we believe that if persons with disabilities are fully integrated or are fully considered or included in the policy makings, programming, of course it will be a relevant strategy for any government, especially Gambia government. The state policy shall always ensure that persons with disabilities are always considered in terms of employment, in terms of education, in terms of contesting for elections at the National Assembly level, council election, mayor or mayoress elections, chairman, or even at the presidential level. Because remember, I told you that the disability is not the characteristic that could define, the persons with disability. With relevant training, with inclusion, with the provision of relevant tools or facilities for persons with disabilities, we can excel just like any other able person. I always consider myself as the Gambia's first and only visually impaired magistrate, where if you come to court anytime, you find me proceeding just exactly or even better than the able bodies, because I feel that I have the relevant tool that I can work with. I'm able to deliver judgments, rulings, orders, just like any other persons. And of course, in most cases, in fact, if my cases are appealed against at the High Court, their appeals will be dismissed, because the Court of Appeal finds that always the way I have concluded my decisions are always fantastic with the sound legal resonance with the relevant law and evidence. So this will tell you that, of course, it's just like changing what it means to be a person with disabilities, or changing what it will mean to be a visually impaired person. So it is always possible that we can turn things that the skeptics thinks impossible can be possible. There are a lot of abilities in disabilities. So if persons with disabilities have to be included, especially in the political spheres in this country, it must begin with that of political parties, that they do not only have to consider other persons, but also consider persons with disabilities in any category, also to contest and run for elections. And of course, we can campaign and convince the hearts and minds of the electorate to vote for us, because we believe that we can always raise the high expectation but not the low expectation, because we always have the belief that low expectation will always create a barrier or obstacle between us and the skeptics that are sitting down there thinking that persons with disability cannot do it. I just want to stress maybe a statement on the 1997 Constitution of the Republic of the Gambia. Previously, or even currently, because the new Constitution is yet to be approved, where our rights are narrowly only considered in Section 31, subsections 1, 2, and 3, that talks about the rights of persons with disabilities in terms of employment, in terms of education, and in extension that states that in any proceedings where a person with disabilities is involved, the procedure shall take his or her condition into consideration. We've been advocating strongly, and of course, Westminster Foundation for Democracy is always our very good partner or associate to make sure that our rights are discussed and pushed further. And the good news is this time around, we have seen that Section 56 of the new draft of the Constitution has at least broadened our rights, not only to be limited to the narrow rights encapsulated in the 1997 Constitution. And again, for the first time, this time around in the new draft Constitution, that the Federation, Gambia Federation of the Disabled, is given 2 seats where persons with disabilities will represent our voices at the National Assembly that has to undergo nomination and election. So that can tell you that really inclusion is really, something that is considered. So we shall continue to advocate for the full inclusion, participation, and representation for persons with disabilities with our esteemed partners. In fact, after the first draft, we have even organized at least 2 days constitutional review for persons with disabilities, just still to indicate to the drafters, to the Constitutional Review Commission, that the rights that are still encapsulated or the way they are couched in the Constitution are not sufficient. And we have come up with very, very strong recommendations that are included in the position paper, and we are sure that they will be considered.
Permanent Secretary for Ministry of Women, Children and Women Affairs, Rohi Bitey Dabo, delivered a statement on behalf of the Honorable Minister of Women, Children and Social Welfare. Mrs. Bitey says women and children with disabilities are the most discriminated in political affairs.
The participation of women, youth, and people with disabilities in politics is an important milestone in the attainment of equality and national development. Political participation includes a broad range of activities through which people develop and express their opinions on issues of governance and try to take part in and shape decisions that affect their lives. Mr. Chairperson, Honorable National Assembly members, data on political participation of women with disability is scarce, but according to the UN flagship report for disability and development, the limited available data shows an extreme low participation and representation of women with disability in political leadership roles. Everyone has the right to vote and be voted for, but women and girls and people with disability are diverse groups who experience various degrees of discrimination and face many systematic barriers in exercising their political rights. In the Gambia, for instance, women constitute 58% of voters. And in the 2017 parliamentary election, out of 54 members, only 3 were elected through the ballots and 3 nominated. That is about 7.5%. Out of the 17 ministries, or the 17 ministers, cabinet ministers, there are only 3, excluding the VP. There are 2 regional governors, still women, and 1 female mayoress. Out of the 120 elected councils, 8 are women. And with the 1,878 alcalos, only 8 are female. Chairperson, concerning the inclusion of the marginalized groups, women, the youth, and disabled, people with disability, in politics, temporary measures should be put in place. Women, youth, and persons with disabilities should not only be cheering and clapping for political leaders, but should also be given the chance to participate not only in politics, but in national affairs. They should be part of the party structures, selected committees, and other national setups. Factors such as education, finance, lack of skills, and more especially socio-cultural beliefs and norms do affect the inclusion of women, youth, and people with disability. In order to increase their participation and representation in political affairs of this nation, there is a need to consider the following. Promote women's and persons with disabilities participation as voters and candidates in electoral processes through training, awareness campaign, and promoting equal opportunity in electoral management bodies. Promoting the use of temporal special measures, including gender quotas. Facilitating the inclusion of women, youth, and persons with disability, as well as their organizations and networks to address discriminatory clauses in the Constitution. Supporting women's coalition in political parties and representative bodies. Encouraging political parties to remove all barriers, develop their capacity to be able to analyze issues of their interest from their perspectives, and adopt policies or quotas through affirmative action to promote women, youth, and people with disabilities participation at all levels of decision-making. Support gender mainstreaming in Parliament through induction training for MPs on gender issues, mainstreaming gender impact reviews into parliamentary committee works. Mr. Chairperson, National Assembly members, Honorable, to enable these groups' participation in politics, it is necessary to build capacity and contacts through mentorship programs, networking opportunities, and be provided with financial support. It is also important to provide boys and girls with disabilities with free access to good quality inclusive education and opportunities to develop their skills and talents to the best of their ability on equal basis with others. Awareness-raising campaigns should be conducted using different mediums to fight the prevailing stereotype and ensure a cultural transformation of society. The government of the Gambia continues to be committed in addressing the challenges and issues of concern, frustrating efforts in the inclusion of women, youth, and people with disabilities in the development process. But be rest assured that in 2020, the Ministry of Women, Children and Social Welfare will ensure the enactment of the Person with Disability Act, the Bill 2019, and will progressively implement the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Person with Disability, the CRPD, that was ratified by the government in July 2015. The priority of my ministry, that is the Ministry of Women, Children and Social Welfare, focuses on the empowerment of women and persons with disabilities for inclusive, equitable, and sustainable development as envisaged in the 2030 Agenda, which pledges to leave no one behind and recognizes gender and disability as cross-cutting issues to be considered in implementing of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Civil society and private sector are also taking the lead in supporting the inclusion of persons with disability at the global, regional, national, and local level. And then one of the evidence of that is the organization of this workshop today by WFD. In conclusion, women, youth, and people with disability need to play a role in which they are able to protect their own rights. It is very important for everyone to understand that change in the political situation depends on the participation of all on equal terms. I am convinced that this advocacy forum will be used to come up with strategies to improve the inclusion, representation, and participation of women, youths, and persons with disabilities in all spheres of life.
Majority Leader for National Assembly and Member for Combo South, Kerr, thanked the Westminster Foundation Democracy for such initiation, saying it is timely. He urged all partners in development to include young people, women, and people with disabilities in all activities.
This advocacy workshop for National Assembly members, youth, and people with disability is very apt and timely as we are preparing for a new legislation for the Gambia, that is the new constitution that is coming. And I think these three sectors are very key and important in ensuring that the administration of this country works towards the democratization processes in the country, involving the young people of our community and women who constitutes over 58% of the population according to the 2013 Housing Population Census, and having over 10,000 people with disability in this country is very important for their inclusion in all activities in the spheres of the government to participate fully to ensure their inclusion. And these are done through participation, involving them at the community level and ensuring that the roles that they play are important and very pivotal to the lives of the most vulnerable members of our community. We want to thank the Westminster Foundation for Democracy for this initiative and the partnerships that the National Assembly had enjoyed over the last 2 years and bringing up people with disability and also young people. I feel very proud to be associated with these groups as a former member of the National Council, Youth Council in 1994, when it was initially set up by the First Republic. And I feel very proud to see this institution moving forward to ensure that the young people are represented in this country. I had worked with the people with disability in this country when I was at Tango. VSO, as a consortium of international NGOs, contacted Tango, and also I was the lead person to ensure that we reorganize and reinstitute the Gambia Federation of Disabled. And I am happy to know that the number has risen from 9 to 15 with the involvement of representatives of these various institutions to fight and work with people with disability in this country. So this workshop is very timely, and we want to urge all our partners in development to ensure that we include young people, people with disability, and women in all activities and programs that will ensure that we have a smooth running and democratization process in this country. And on that note, I have the singular honor and pleasure to declare this 2 days advocacy workshop for National Assembly members, the youths, and also people with disability open. Thank you so much.
For Kerr Fatou, I am Sally Job.
Are you thinking of owning your dream homes? EJ Investment is here for you. Secure our quality bungalows with 2, 3, or 4 bedrooms, or our story buildings 3 or 4 to 5 bedrooms at very affordable prices with flexible payment plans at our Sanyang Seaview Estate, where you can enjoy the cool breeze with modern infrastructure such as tar roads, covered drainage system, modern electrification with street lights, gated entrance with security posts, and social amenities such as gas station, shopping mall, medical clinic, park, schools, children daycare, and a lot more. Our dedicated team of professionals will keep the estate clean at all times, provide security and patrol team within the estate premises, install latest technologies such as CCTV, Wi-Fi, home network installation, solar panel, and power backup system. Also, check out for our additional home facilities and interior design service such as premium tiling, wall plaster, home landscape, fingerprint home lock, and a lot more. Visit our office at Senegambia Kololi Highway and get a free site visit tour, or contact us on 4464838. WhatsApp us on 3259220. Or you can visit our Facebook page or Instagram on EJ Investments. EJ Investments, we are first in properties.
All right.
Honey, did you remind him that the last time he sent the money, it was not enough to buy all the provisions?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to tell him.
Are you guys talking about money transfer to buy provisions?
Yes.
But don't you know about Baloo?
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 What is Baloo?
Baloo is a service that your son can use to send provisions directly to you guys from the shop. And you don't have to worry about the exchange rate.
Tell me how Baloo works.
It's very simple.
Just log on to baloo.com and shop, or download the app on your phone. You can shop on the website or using the app to buy online basic products for your family and friends. With Baloo, you decide what your money is spent on. Your money, your choice. Buy online products for your family and friends in the Gambia, Senegal, Nigeria, or Mali. Baloo, better than sending money.